This is a single leg hip thrust. So Peter's going to be positioned on a bench here. His upper back should be on the bench. His shoulder blades should be resting on the bench. His arms here are out at the side here for support. But the majority of his weight is going to be on his upper back, not his arms. Now his feet are out in front here so that when he bridges his hips up, his shins should be pretty close to vertical. Okay, so that might take a little bit of feeling out to do. So even though this is a single leg version, what I'm going to have Peter do is keep both feet on the ground and bridge his hips up. All right, so he wants to brace that anterior core, push into the ground through his heels, all right, squeezing his hamstrings and glutes, particularly the glutes at the top, all right? So as he comes up here, he should have a straight line between his shoulders, hips, and knees, all right? Squeezing in the glutes and hamstrings, not feeling this in the low back. That anterior core should be braced. So this is the end position here. Well, not quite yet. He's going to take one knee and bring it to his chest, and those hips shouldn't drop, all right? So in this position, his weight supported now on his left leg. He should really feel this on his left glute and hamstring, all right? And he's going to go down on one leg and return to that same position, all right? So down under control, up, pushing through the heel, squeezing in the hamstring and the glutes. All right, in that top position, again, we want that straight line between shoulders, hips, and knees. Okay, so he goes down, comes up, and he's keeping this knee pretty close to his chest as he performs the exercise. We don't want that leg kicked out straight like that. All right, it's an important component of that exercise to have that knee bent up towards your chest. So we do all the reps on one side and then switch to the other leg. Now, one way to progress this exercise is to load it up with chains. So we've got a chain here. Peter's going to do is going to drape this chain across his waist. All right, so one chain here, but you can all use as many as you want, or as many as you can use with good form, of course. So he's going to do the same thing as before, pushing into the ground with one foot, keeping that other knee up to his chest. All right, so we want to have that straight line at the top, regardless of the whatever weight you're using. All right, so he comes down under control, pushes himself back up to the top, squeezing that glute and hamstring at the lockout position. All right, so common mistakes we'll see with this exercise. Either people have their heads cranked forward or their heads cranked back. We want to maintain that neutral cervical spine position so the head and neck move in unison with the torso during this exercise. Other common mistakes we'll see, as I've addressed earlier, is that people arch with their back. All right, so we want to keep that neutral spinal alignment. So brace the anterior core, maybe even a slight posterior tilt of the pelvis, so you're starting from a more neutral position. All right, so that will be common in sometimes athletes who present with very extended postures. They need to cue themselves to get into a little bit more flexion, or what would be neutral for a normal person.